Hey friends, you're listening to This Quote Changed My Life, a podcast about inspired action. My name is Tracy and I'm the host of the show. Thank you so much for joining me back. I was just thinking I'm not just a podcast anymore. I'm actually videoing, podcasting, so you can see and listen to this podcast on YouTube. So if you want to come find me on YouTube, type in Make Sunshine or type in This Quote Changed My Life and you should find me. And hello. You can watch me be awkward and try and figure out how to do this podcasting thing. It's still new to me. I'm getting used to it, which is awesome, but I'll never get used to seeing my face up on things. But anyway, that's a different episode altogether, I think. I hope that you're happy, healthy and safe wherever you are in the world. I know there's still a lot of energy going on, a lot of things going on, and I really do wish you well, and I hope that by listening to my goofy voice and seeing my goofy face, I give you some sort of escape from whatever you're going through right now. So thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. There are a lot of ways this quote has inspired me. I first heard it back in 2000, which is 22 years ago now. Wow, I'm old. On the album Parachutes by Coldplay. And if you're old like me, you've got this passage of time where certain songs and certain things from your childhood or your teenage years are now burned into your memory. And this is one of the songs. And the song is Everything's Not Lost. For me, I can clearly remember seeing Coldplay at a Big Day Out concert, which is like a music festival. It doesn't exist anymore in Australia, but it used to travel around Australia with international and local artists, and Coldplay was one of them. I was lucky to see Coldplay live a few times around that 2000 period, and hearing this song and hearing this whole album, wow, brings me back to all those fun memories. This particular song has been in my life for 22 years, which is more than half my life. The song is Everything's Not Lost. Did I say that already? Probably not, but the song is Everything's Not Lost. And if you haven't heard already, you can pause this podcast and go check it out on Spotify or wherever you listen to your music and then come back, or you can do it after. But I really hope that you give it a listen and think about what it means to you. But for now, we're going to talk about the quote and what it means to me. Everything's Not Lost is a reminder to me that there is something good in every situation, and maybe I won't say every situation because I do think there's some really, truly crappy things that we go through and you just can't find the good in it. But hindsight is healing and time is healing. And if we are able to step back and look back on those times that were challenging to us, I think that can be a very powerful thing towards our healing. Maybe we get the opportunity to say that we learned something from it, or that some good came from the crap that we've just been through. Everything's Not Lost reminds me to be really mindful of the moments that I'm experiencing, to look for the good and look for the helpers, and to look for what steps I can take next to create the life that I want. It reminds me everything that I've experienced and everything I will experience will make me who I am. So, jumping to the homework already this week, what I would love for you to do is to think about one situation that you felt challenged in or uncomfortable with, and then figure out 3 good things that came from it. And I know that's hard and it could be very triggering for a lot of people, so please don't do this if you feel uncomfortable. But when you're ready and if you're able, revisit the things that you're holding on to and the things that you really felt challenged by, and flip the script and think about what good came from it. For me, one of the things that has challenged me and continues to challenge me is the Rett syndrome diagnosis that my daughter Jovi received, which is coming up on 10 years now, and no end in sight. There's been a lot of things in the 10 years that have really challenged me. I keep saying challenge, but it's true. They really challenged me, but I also need to know that this life is still full of hope and learning and growing, connecting with amazing families around the world. I love them so much, and we get strength from each other, we get information from each other, and we're able to lean on each other. I think that's been one of the most incredible things to come from the Rett syndrome diagnosis. And I've also been able to spend so much time with Jovi. I don't think a lot of parents get to do that, and a lot of parents expect to raise their children until they're old enough to move out of home, and I won't have that with Jovi. Jovi will be with me for the rest of my life, and as daunting as that is, I also see it as a great thing to experience. I get to be with my daughter, and that makes me so happy. I will never ever say that I'm grateful for Rett syndrome, because it is a beast and it's a horrible genetic disorder to experience from this outside. I don't know what it's like for these boys and girls and women and men to experience personally, but everything's not lost, and I truly believe that. I think there's still a lot of value in our lives, in their lives and in mine, and I kind of refuse to lay down to it and give up. I still believe that we have the power to create a life that is rich and full and meaningful, despite all these challenges. It just looks a little different to what I thought it would be. Give up on the idea of perfection, a perfect life, everything in order, and that, things have to be a certain way in order for you to be happy. I think most of us are lucky to have enough in our lives in order to be happy. And I think even when you're going through those hard times, experience it, let yourself feel what you're feeling, but also think about what you could be doing next. When you're ready to move forward, what can you do next to create the feeling that you want and the life that you want? Everything is not lost. Sometimes it takes time to get to that feeling of contentment and being at your base level, but it can be done. So what are you going to do next? How are you going to move forward? How are you going to create the life that you really want? How will you use all the experience and the knowledge of living what you've gone through? Thank you so much for listening to episode 67 of the podcast. It's so exciting that I'm almost at episode 70. If you would like to follow me on Instagram, I'm under @MakeSunshineCo, @MakeSunshineCo, and my website is thisquotepodcast.com. Again, I hope that wherever you are in the world that you're happy, healthy, and safe. And if you're not, I hope that you get there soon. I'll speak to you guys next week. Thank you so much for joining me. Bye-bye.